Hey guys, thanks for joining me today. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button because like I said earlier in our other videos that we're going to be uploading at least 3 a week. So we're going to be doing a lot here. Today I'm going to be talking about my testimony and where the Lord has brought me from. Whenever I was younger, I was a really angry individual. When I was a kid, everybody's like, oh, you're so angry, you're just such an angry kid. When I was 11 years old, I started using tobacco. I started dipping, and I had that sense of calmness whenever I used it. You know, it was a false sense, obviously, but I had a sense of calmness, and I really liked it. By the time I was 12, I started smoking cigarettes and also dipping. By the time I was 15 years old, I started messing with alcohol, started messing with marijuana, and also still smoking and dipping, and just kind of whenever I get my hands on it, so I was underage and all. Whenever I graduated high school, I moved out to Phoenix, Arizona, and once I moved out there, I became like a full-blown alcoholic. I was drinking a case of beer or a fifth of whiskey every day. I was smoking a lot of weed, anywhere from an eighth to a quarter every day, smoking about 2 packs of cigarettes every day. By the time I was 20, 21, I started getting into, I became addicted to cocaine, addicted to Oxycontins. I was snorting both them on the daily, still heavily drinking, still smoking around a quarter a day, also smoking around a pack of cigarettes a day. Then also I was kind of experimenting with other drugs. You know, I was taking ecstasy, dropping acid, eating shrooms. It was pretty much about whatever I get my hands on. I was really angry. I was really a depressed individual, and I was trying to mask those feelings with the abuse of drugs and alcohol. I moved away. When I was 24 years old, I moved out of Phoenix, and it was a really good thing for me. Quit using cocaine, quit using narcotics, Oxycontins, and stuff like that. And so I thought to myself, well, I'm doing a whole lot better. I was still smoking a lot, still drinking very heavily. I was going to the bars probably 5 days a week still, but I felt like I was a better person because I wasn't snorting cocaine every day, or I wasn't crushing up pills and snorting them every single day. So I felt like I was being a better person. Whenever I was 25 years old, the girl that I was dating, we had a kid. She was my first child, and she really slowed me down. I wasn't going to the bars as much. I quit using, narcotics as far as started kind of getting away from the pills. I was still smoking every day, not as much, but I was still smoking every day, still smoking cigarettes and dipping and all that. But again, I felt like I was being a better person, like I was growing up, still very depressed, still very angry. I really couldn't understand why at the time. Just a lot of anger, a lot of depression. Whenever my daughter was about a year old, me and her biological mother, we separated, and she pretty much dipped out. She came back once after the first 3 months after we broke up, and then it was about another 4 or 5 months before I even seen her again. So I pretty much had a little baby on my own. I was 26 years old. I had no idea what I was doing. So I was really busy with that. So I wasn't drinking as much because I had a little girl. I was going to work, coming home, and I had to take care of her. And so again, I felt like I was a better person. I was a whole lot better off than what I was, which was a lie because I was, but I was still using. I was still drinking a lot. It was a lie from the enemy is what it was, to make me to justify the things that I was still doing. Whenever I met my wife, Casey, which if you guys watch previous videos, you all know who she is. She wasn't a bar goer. She didn't like to go to the bars, and I was going to the bar about every chance I could get whenever I didn't have my daughter. And so I quit going to the bars. She didn't smoke cigarettes and stuff, so I quit smoking cigarettes. I actually went to an e-cig. So again, here we go. I felt like I was a better person. Like, I justified my actions. Well, I'm not as bad as what I used to be. I've come a long ways from snorting cocaine. And oh yeah, and by the way, whenever I was doing all that in Arizona, I was also selling weed. And really the only reason why I quit selling was because I was selling so much that in Arizona at the time, first offense for the amount I was selling was 5 years in Tent City. So it scared me. And so that was really the only reason why I quit selling, was because I didn't want to go to Tent City for 5 years on my first offense, because that's what was happening there at that time. So I was even doing that. Oh yeah, I'm a whole lot better person. I'm not selling weed. I'm not snorting coke and oxys and drinking a case of beer every day and dropping acid and eating ecstasy and rolling and doing all that fun stuff, which I thought was fun, but it absolutely was not. It's devastating to my life. So I thought I was a better person then. We had my second daughter, and whenever she came, I quit smoking weed altogether. Cut way back on my drinking. And so I thought, I'm doing really good. I mean, I've really got a lot of self-control. I'm really becoming a better person. Still smoking, smoking the e-cig and stuff like that, but I wasn't smoking weed anymore. I wasn't drinking nearly as much. I maybe go get a 6-pack once a week, which was a lot for me. That was good. And but I still was dealing with a lot of anger, a lot of depression, and I fell off the wagon pretty hard. I mean, I started drinking. I went back to like drinking every day. Went back to smoking a lot of weed. Actually started using tobacco again. And I got to the point in my life where I felt like that my wife didn't even love me anymore. My kids didn't even love me anymore. I was so angry. I was literally going to work and coming home and getting high or getting drunk, or both. So that was pretty much my life. And I had myself convinced, the enemy had me convinced that my wife, she's a stay-at-home mom, and we agreed to that. And I love that. And I love that the Lord is able to, he provided that for us, so we were able to do that. But the enemy had me convinced that she was a stay-at-home mom because she didn't want to go to work, and she just wanted to just be at the house and, have all of her stuff and, just put that load on me, which is completely not true. My wife is a very hard worker, and anybody that's a stay-at-home mom knows that that's very hard work. But the enemy had me convinced that she was just being lazy and just didn't want to work and was just wanting to live off of me. It was kind of like it's her world, I'm just living in it. So I come home just angry, so angry. She'd be like, "What's wrong? What's wrong?" I'm like you care. Well, she absolutely cared. I mean, she's the most loving and caring person that I know. But I was being lied to. And so I was drinking a lot. I was smoking a lot. And, I started praying. And I don't really know why. Because, I always prayed. I always did the, now let me down to sleep. And, dear Lord, thank you for this food. Prayers. But I never really prayed. And, I just got this in my head that, there has to be more than just going to work and coming home and getting high. And so I started praying, like, Lord, if you could, help me out, give me something else to do, because I'm really bored, and honestly, I'm depressed, I'm angry. I know there's got to be something more than this. So one night I was laying in bed, and I was just praying. And I was like, Lord, I'm really angry. I'm really depressed. I know there's got to be something more than this. I know that I wasn't born to just do what I'm doing. And so that'd be great if you could help me out, or just at least give me something to do. And I was just laying there, and I closed my eyes, and all of a sudden, this evil spirit, I could see it, I could feel it. It literally felt like it was in the room. I could see it in my mind's eye. I opened my eyes, it scared me so much. It wasn't in the room, I couldn't see it, but I could feel its presence in the room. It absolutely scared me. And whenever I closed my eyes again, I could see it. Like there it was, and very scary. And I was like, what am I looking at here? And the Lord spoke to me that night. He said, this is what's on you. This is a spirit of addiction. This is a spirit of depression. This is a spirit of anger, and it's on you, and you've allowed it, and it speaks to you, and it has spoken these lies to you, and it has held you in bondage for years. I jumped up out of bed. I come up out of bed, and I was like, and I walked over and I opened up a window and I started praying in the name of Jesus. And I was like, you have no place here, Satan. You have got to go. And I cast that spirit off of me in the name of Jesus. And I know that what happened that night and what was revealed to me was absolutely 100% true. Because since that day, I have never had a craving for alcohol again. I've never had a craving for weed. And by the way, people want to talk about, well, weed's not bad. It's all natural. It's, God made it. So, I mean, we should be able to use it. It's medicinal. It's pharmakia, guys. And I know that for a fact. Lord wouldn't deliver me from something that wasn't harmful to me, that didn't hinder my walk with him, or if it was his will for my life. If you don't believe me that it isn't, try going a day or two without smoking. If you're a regular smoker, go 2 or 3 days without using, and see how your sleep schedule is. See how you eat. See if you're not fidgety, angry, feeling anxious. See if you even don't get sick. I know that whenever I tried to quit on my own in the past, whenever I tried to quit using smoking weed, I would get cold sweats a night. Hot, cold, hot, cold, hot, cold. I get about 3 hours of sleep a night for 3 or 4 nights in a row. Very anxious, very fidgety, just angry, just really short-tempered. Pretty much like leave me alone. Like I'm going through withdrawals right now off of weed. So people who say, oh no, weed's not bad for you. It absolutely is. And it's pharmakia. It's mind altering. Anything that's mind altering is pharmakia. And the Lord delivered me from that. Whenever he did, I was afraid that was going to happen to me again. I thought I was going to get withdrawals from alcohol because I was drinking quite a bit at the time. I thought I was going to get tobacco withdrawals. Tobacco was one of the hardest things for me to quit. I always went back to tobacco. Out of all the things that I've done, tobacco was the one thing that I never really wanted to ever put down. I got a lot of enjoyment out of it. Since then, I've not even craved it at all. I don't even want it. And I never had a withdrawal. I never have had a craving since that night. And so I know for a fact, I know for absolute certain that it was a spirit that was on me. And guys, if you guys are struggling with depression, if you guys are struggling with anger, addiction, just know that the Lord wants to take that away from you. He doesn't want to see you living like that. He doesn't want to see you struggling like that and having to endure that. It says to cast all your cares upon him. And he absolutely wants it because he loves us, and his will for us is good. He has good plans for us. Whenever that happened, I surrendered my life to Christ because I realized that because of the things that I was wanting to do, my will, my life. I wanted to run my life. I didn't want anybody else to run my life. It's my life. I do what I want. And these are the things that I enjoy, and this is what I want to do. I was living in the flesh. And I surrendered myself to him that night. And I truly was saved that night. And he pulled me out of my own issues that I had caused in my life, and allowing that spirit to come upon me. And actually, as a younger individual, welcoming that spirit on me with the addiction and everything. I liked to do drugs. I wanted to do more. I wanted to always drink more. So I invited that into my life, and he took it away from me, guys. And that day that I actually surrendered myself to him, my life has completely changed. I'm no longer the same person that I was before. I hear from the Lord now. He speaks to me, and I can speak to him. And before that, whenever I was using and whenever I was doing what I wanted to do, he wasn't speaking to me. Or maybe he was. Actually, he was speaking to me. I just wasn't hearing. Now I can hear him. Guys, my relationship with him has grown so much since I started my life. And, people say, oh, yeah, I'm saved. I gave my life to Christ. You got to think about that for a second. You gave your life to Christ. Paul said that he's a bondservant to Christ. He was a bondservant. Bondservant is a paid-for servant. And the servant does what the master wants him to do. The Lord is our master, and his will for us is only good. So, and him being our creator and you being born for a purpose, wouldn't we want to know what he has in store for us? Especially since he says that he only wants good for us. Our will and what we want, it always turns bad. We deal with a lot of struggles. Not that we won't deal with struggles whenever we surrender our life to Christ, but we'll know that he's with us and he's there, and all we got to do is just cast our cares upon him and lean on him. And he helps us, guys, and he pulls you through things that you cannot do on your own. We need him, and I needed him. And so if you guys are dealing with any type of problems, depression and stuff, a doctor's pill is not going to cure you. It's only going to mask what you're feeling inside. If you're having anger problems, anything that you try to take is only going to mask what's going on inside of you. Any addictions, you don't need a 12-step program, you need a 1-step program. And that's Jesus Christ. There is no withdrawals involved. There is no, saying, oh, I've been clean for this long. I can't, honestly, guys, people who have gone through the steps and done the program, they know exactly the last minute that they used. Guys, because that's so important to them, and I feel like that they hang on to that. I don't remember the last day I used, and I don't care. All I know is that the Lord set me free, and I cannot be happier. And since then, my walk with Christ has grown. My relationship with him has grown. My relationship with my wife has grown. I mean, it has strengthened our relationship so much. My relationship with my children, it's off the charts, guys. It's not even the same as it used to be. And it's ever growing. It gets better every day. And it's because I surrendered my life. And it's because I allowed him to take control of my life. And I put my trust in him. So whenever we surrender to him, guys, we also have to trust him, because the book is full of promise. The Bible's full of promises, and we just got to trust that he is who he says he is, and he is a God that he should not lie, and he only wants what's good for us, guys. And so if you guys are dealing with any of those things, anything at all, addictions, anger, depression, sadness, there's a plethora of things that we deal with as humans. Just know that there is a Lord, there is Jesus. There's a God that wants to take those away from you. He wants to help you. He wants to be there for you. He loves you. We're his children, guys. He created us. He has a perfect plan for our lives. All we got to do is ask him. And all we got to do is trust that it is perfect and let him do what he does best. So I hope this helped you guys. And if you guys have any questions or anything, or you guys just want to leave a comment, you can leave it right down below there. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button, because my wife is actually going to give her testimony very soon also, and it's really good. It's a really good testimony. So thanks for hanging out with me today, guys, and hope you all have a great day.